I hear you. And look, things can always go wrong. Sonny, you're someone that keeps doubting Arsenal and they keep shoving up. And it's been 2 back-to-back performances now. Like, they had their wobble, 3 games without a win, 6 wins on the bounce since then. And the last 2 games have been, barring that one corner, they've been practically emphatic. Devastating going forward, controlling the games, barely conceding high-quality chances. 8 points clear. Talk to me. Champions elect?
No, not champions elect, but I have to admit, I've been wrong with Arsenal. The other day, I think it was yesterday actually, where they played Palace. I was so confident. I didn't say anything because I thought, let me just not speak anymore. I seen Arsenal's lineup and I went, is that Rob Holding? Is that Rob Holding at centre back? And my eyes lit up. I seen like a draw. It was written in the stars. And I didn't watch the game. I was actually out, and I just look at my phone and I see 1-0 Arsenal, 2-0 Arsenal, 3-0 Arsenal, 3-1, 4-1 Arsenal, and I just go, well, I don't know what to wish for anymore. I don't even know what to believe because look, I've got it wrong. Arsenal are good enough to win the Premier League this season. I now believe
No,
that.
keep doubting us, please. Keep doubting us. We prefer it that way.
Coming out of the Europa League, I first bantered them. I was like, oh my God, look, that's brilliant. But at the same time, let me think now. It's a higher chance they're not going to get any injuries. They've got more time for rest. They've got players come back from injury with more time. They only have less games to play now, and they can focus on the singular league games. And I just think it's not good if you don't want Arsenal to win the league. And I actually do want Arsenal to win the league, but I still don't think they will. And that's because I think they'll get beat by City away, and I just think City will have a better run than them. That is simply what I believe. But I can now say I do think Arsenal will win the league, unfortunately, because look, from what I've said before, but I don't think they will. I don't think they will.
Wait, what was that? What was that last sentence? I'm confused.
You don't think they will?
I don't think they will, but they're good enough to. I believe this team's good enough to.
Yeah, and again, do you know what? I think most Arsenal fans are accepting of that opinion. It's in, you're good enough to. I think you're a brilliant team. I just think City will pip you. I don't think any gooner in the world's got a problem with that opinion. It's the whole, not going to do it, and just being dismissed. But my issue with City, you guys have already heard a minute of it, but is this, take a listen to this here, Tony Cascarino. And you might pick up on it as well, but take a little listen to this. I didn't mean to press that button. Take a little listen to this and listen to what he says.
And Man City are a side, if they get it together, because we're all assuming that Man City are not as good as last year. And that's why they're slightly behind. Mm-hmm. This Man City team now looks like the second half of the season, they're going to be better than they were in the first.
So he kind of, this is what I mean by the narrative then. People might have missed it. It's, people are assuming City aren't as good as last year, but they are. And then equally says, but they're about to click into gear and be really good. So they can't have been at their best if they're now going to click into gear. And that's my issue with why I think City won't do it. Because they've been about to click into gear for 3 months and they haven't quite done it yet. Now, I know in the Champions League and in the FA Cup the other day, they were absolutely scintillating. But there's no pressure in those games. And they weren't playing high-quality opposition. That 8-point gap is absolutely massive. 12-30 return. I know Liverpool's 12-30 games aren't that bad. They just cannot afford any slip-ups now, and that's a very different scenario. It's a very different scenario. And what Tony Cascarino said there, I've been hearing it for months now. This City team is just better than Arsenal. They've been better than Arsenal, but they'll click into gear soon. Why are people writing them off like they've been bad so far this year? And that double narrative, how can they be about to hit their best if they've already been at their best this season? And if they've been at their best this season and they're already 8 points behind, why are Arsenal being completely disregarded? Should you not predict City as potential champions? Of course you can think City are going to win the league. It's normal. But I think this weekend, every weekend, you see more and more people go like Sonny. I think I've been wrong about this Arsenal team. And every week that goes by, you get more and more converters just to believing that they're good enough to do it. You don't have to like them. You don't have to rate them. You don't have to enjoy them. But it's that intellectual honesty, which I'm personally looking for from people. Like, do you think Arsenal can win it? Because Sonny just 7 days ago went, no way, no chance. And now look at the difference. And I think Arsenal are hitting their groove earlier than City, and they still look better than City for me in the league. In the league, they still look better. It was only, as much as City have smashed up these teams, they struggled against Crystal Palace. I know they were away, so it's a little tougher, but they struggled hard. And yes, it was a penalty, but outside of that penalty, they weren't winning that game. For me, they're champions-elect because I think Arsenal were going to go on to do it. And essentially now, if you look at the maths of this, City have to win every single game. They literally have to, because there's no way Arsenal, in my opinion, are dropping more points than Man City in this run-in. I just don't think they're going to. Right now, they've got to drop 9 more points. I know there's a game in hand, but you've got to win the damn thing. It's 9 more points. That's a 9-point swing. I just can't see that in 10 games, 10, 11 games. I can't see it.
Who do you think will drop that many points? Arsenal.
I don't think Arsenal are going to drop 9 points in the last 10 games, and City then have to win all 11. Then it's not going to happen for me.
They have to lose, Sonny, they have to lose 3 games.
They've lost 3 games all season. That means they've got to lose 3 of their last 10, and City have to win all 11. That's not happening for me.
I see it happening because I still think when they play City, I just still see a big level difference, and I think that can knock a lot of confidence, because wasn't it only a month ago when Arsenal did have like a 3 or 4 game period where they dropped points in like every game? I forget who it was. It was Brentford. It was...
Well, we played against Everton, Brentford, then we had a game and we played against City. But I'll tell you what, that game against City, we didn't even play that badly. I thought we actually played quite well. City were more clinical, you know. And but the thing is, with Arsenal this season, when we have gone a goal down, like in seasons gone by, when Arsenal go a goal down, we know what the result's going to be. How often were Arsenal coming back to win games over the last 6-7 years against anyone, home or away? Whereas this season, you know, for a long period of the season, we'd only been behind for a very short amount of time. Like going up, like when after we got beat by Man United at Old Trafford, up until you know, pretty much the beginning of the year, I think we're only behind for something like 20 minutes in total. Where there's just something a little bit different happening at Arsenal right now. And as I said, I still don't believe we're going to go out there and win the league. I will believe it once it's mathematically impossible, because I've seen it happen before.
Yeah,
I'm old enough to have seen Arsenal mess it up in 99, in 03, in 05, in 08, in 16.
As an Arsenal fan, I don't feel that pressure, because if you don't win it, well, I do and I don't. It doesn't matter to me if you the club don't win it, but there is a thing going on at the minute which is not being spoken about, and I call it Operation Stop the Treble. Because City can win a damn treble this year. And again, like last year, nobody should be wanting City to win a treble, because it's an achievement only Man United have got, so I don't want it for that. But it's also an achievement they would have that would put them above, in terms of single season achievements, every single one of your football clubs. And I think these things matter. It's why nobody wanted Liverpool winning a quad, because it meant they'd completed football first, and it meant you'd never going to be able to, the likelihood of anybody else doing it was so low. So I want Arsenal to win it, because I know Man United can't, to stop you guys, but I don't feel the pressure you feel, and I understand that. There's a comment here that's addressed to me that says, "What's your excuse going to be if they don't win the league, Terry?" Well, there won't be an excuse. I'll analyze it and say why. If they lose 4 or 5 of their last 10 games, that would probably be called a collapse, and I'll say they collapsed and they didn't handle the pressure. You know, that's honestly the only way Arsenal throw this away now is collapsing. Because you can afford to even lose. Look, City for me are not going to win 11 games on the bounce. So Arsenal could probably afford to lose 2 games in these last 10. I know that means City could theoretically go 1 point ahead of you, but I don't see City winning all 11. Why? They haven't been good enough this year to put that many wins together on the bounce, and I don't see them doing it from being 8 points behind this late in the season. So you could theoretically lose a couple. If City lose 1, you could lose 2. But I just don't personally see. Someone said a minute ago, it's not analysis, this is hope. There's a little bit of hope in there. I'm not going to deny it. But I'm basing it on, if you want analysis, the quality of performances all season, the bounce back from adversity that we've already seen, the form they're now in, and Jesus is back. And Gabriel Jesus has only come on as a sub. This guy is going to come back in fresh, because he's not played for 3 months. He's fit, he's fresh. And it's going to be like the new signing bounce, as it were. He's going to come in and be like he was at the beginning of this season. And I think these players need it. Jorginho's played his part. They've got Trossard now, which they didn't have earlier on in the season. And even when you've had Holding as an example, he stepped in at the weekend and was colossal. He was colossal. He really was. And that's when I look at a team and think, you know what? When you have backup players come in and also on individual games look top class, that is a dangerous combination. For me,
Jorginho, another example.
Yeah, Jorginho has been great. So listen, if they don't win the league, I'll give fair analysis and say this is why I'll also say City deserved it because whoever wins the league deserves it, no matter what anybody says. But I just think Arsenal will have enough. They're not going to run away with it and win it by 10, 12 points. But I think this win at the weekend, we're going to look back and it's going to be proved decisive because I'm picking it now, 2 weeks ahead of time. City drop points against Liverpool. City will drop points against Liverpool. I think it'll be a draw. They'll drop points. Arsenal will win their game and they're going to move on to whatever it'll be 10 points clear. And then suddenly, it's then you're only going to need, I think, like 20. Then you're only going to need like 24. 20. Well, if they win their
26,
game,
if they say 26 and they draw, then it'll be 21 even.
Yeah, 21. And suddenly 21 from 20, like that. Suddenly that gap, and then it just means keep winning your games, and then you can even afford to lose at the Etihad. And if you go to the Etihad not needing to win, you win because the pressure will be off, and that's just how I see it going. That's my prediction. That's just how I feel. But
I don't think you can say that.
Wait,
Because
listen.
look at Arsenal the last few years when
why
they've had
can't I say it?
Arsenal have had, like, I just think, for me, I just think it's very possible for Arsenal to lose the league towards the end of the season. And I would say if Arsenal do lose the league from here, you do have to say they've bottled it. Because if this is any other team, any other big team, you have to say they've bottled it. And I want Arsenal to win the league, but I think Manchester City are better. And I think they're running the Man City. Look, I've seen it for the last, I don't even know how many years. Arsenal have been amazing this season and they're capable of winning the league. However, every single time Man City and Arsenal play, I mean, what is the record now? Like, how many games have Man City won in a row against Arsenal? You might call me deluded. You might say, oh, what are you doing?
No,
every single time they play,
that.
I consider it a Manchester City win. So realistically, I'm only saying Arsenal can only afford like dropping points in one game, really, because you might call me deluded. I just think they're losing that game.
I understand. Let me ask you a question. Excuse me. How up until you won the league at Liverpool, how many times had you been in title races and or won the league in the Premier League era? None. Liverpool
one race before that. Two races before that.
One
race.
09.
They often started many seasons as one of the favourites and they fell away or they bottled things, especially them in the league. They won cups, but they always bottled the league, Liverpool. When you guys were challenging for your league title and then you won your league title, your history didn't matter anymore, did it?
What do you mean?
You were such a good team, that Liverpool side that got 97 and 99 points. You were so good. It didn't matter that previous years under different managers for decades, you'd bottled the league because you were so good. The point is this Arsenal team this is the best Arsenal team since the Invincibles, and it's one of the best Arsenal teams domestically so far that the club has ever produced. They are above the average points at this stage of the season of every single Man City team, barring the Centurions, who have pushed mid to high 90 points every year. This is not the same Arsenal of 5 years, 10 years, 15 years ago. It is a completely different animal. And the reason I brought up the Liverpool point is so that maybe you can see where I'm coming from by how different you felt in 2019-20 versus how you felt 3 years prior, 5 years prior, even how you felt in 2013, 2014 when you just
missed Liverpool, out. Terry.
It's not about Liverpool. No, you're missing my point.
He's trying to equivalate it. So
I'm giving you an equivalence of your Liverpool team when you won the league was a different beast to Brendan Rodgers' team and Rafa Benitez's, right?
Yeah.
This Arsenal team, in my opinion, is a different beast.
Of course
you can tell that by their consistency and by their ruthlessness throughout the majority of this season. They've had a 3-game wobble. That is all they've had. This team is relentless. So I think people saying they've bottled it before, they'll just bottle it again. I think it's disingenuous to what we have witnessed on the football pitch. The same as I predicted you to win the league the year you won the league. And my reason for it was because I saw a different Liverpool team. A different side, a different mentality, a different ethos to the game, a relentlessness, a killer instinct. And this Arsenal team has got exactly the same thing. And people can deny it if they want. They can deny it if they want. But this team is ruthless. And if they do miss out on the league, it is going to be by a hair's breadth. And they're going nowhere. They are not one-season wonders. They're not winning the league because of like a Leicester year where none of the top 6 play particularly well. They're winning the league because this is one of the best individual performances Arsenal Football Club has ever had in a league campaign. And it's disrespected too much by football.
Again, we're looking a bit too far ahead in the future, but there is definitely a chance that this team is a one-season wonder. But that's a thing for another day.
That's too far ahead. And from the proof, you can only go off the proof that is given to you. All I want to say is, rivals who are saying that they're gonna crumble. It's literally just hope. It's literally, they just need to accept that the fact that this Arsenal team's good. You know what I mean? Drop the agenda, drop whatever you're saying, and just be like, yo, you know what? Yeah, this Arsenal team have been brilliant. Because you're not, let's be brutally honest here. Let's be honest about the elephant in the room. It's not Arsenal Football Club that they don't like. The Arsenal team are not dislikable. They play good football, good young players. The characters in the team are very likable as a whole. I don't really dislike a particular Arsenal player. Say I don't really like Robertson, or many people don't like Bruno, or you know what I mean. There's many people that don't like Harry Kane. Like there's players in these teams that you just generally dislike. Arsenal don't really have many of those. It's not because of Arsenal Football Club or the team. It's because of the fan base. Arsenal fans have been a thorn in everyone's side for 20 odd years. And because of that, that is why rivals don't want Arsenal to win. And that's it. Once you let go of that, once you get past the fact that, it's because I don't want Gav and Amanda to be screaming and shouting down the road for 2 years. I guarantee you Arsenal fans will hold on this for forever long. And we could win three trophies, 3 Premier Leagues, and they'll still be like, yeah, but that one time we won it, we were better than you. Like that, they will do that.
And I'll be there. I'll be there with that.
We'll be there. But once you get past
that, 20 years, man. Come on, let me have it.
But once you get past that, like you have to accept that this is a good team, good young team who have got a bright future ahead of them. It's like asking me who do I want to win the league. So asking me who do I want to kiss my fiance, my brother or my best friend. Like I don't want either thing to happen, isn't it? So I've got to a point of acceptance. I don't really care.
I can only speak for myself, and I agree with everything you said. It's nothing to do with Arsenal fans. It's nothing to do with my hatred towards anyone. I just literally think Manchester City are a better team because, I mean, they have the best goal scorer in the world. I rate all the players at Man City higher than I rate the players at Arsenal. The manager, I think we all rate the manager at Man City higher than we rate Arsenal's manager. I just think it's that simple, and I just think they're going to edge it towards the end of the season because they'll win that game against Arsenal. Yeah. And then the margins are small.
Mate, listen, and I don't think I'm not really having a pop at you. The reason I use Liverpool as an example is to make you understand, because you said, when I said I think they'll win it for these reasons, you said you can't say that. My example was to explain to you why I believe my opinion holds water. And that's the thing with opinions. Everybody will be, if you're wrong, it'll be, you were completely wrong. My logic as to why I think they can win the league isn't wrong, even if they fail to win the league, because the logic stands up because there's precedence for it inside the Premier League.